some of you and acquainting ourselves with you in the past 2 days. People from Hamad bin Khalifa University at Qatar, which is part of Qatar Foundation. And actually, the foundation and Kuwait, we also have a foundation, okay, the Kuwait Foundation for Advancement of Sciences. So it is, Qatar Foundation is pretty much like a sister organization within the region. And we are looking forward to very recent, in the upcoming future, a collaboration between the two institutions. So, my name is Abdul Wahab Al-Musallam. I'm the Director of Research Grants at the Kuwait Foundation for Advancement of Sciences. And this is Ala Saleh. She is an officer at the directorate as well. And she is the person who is directly involved with Pure, okay? So I'm here only as a manager, okay? Very humble, I'm a manager, but she is doing all of the work. Okay. So this is a story of Kuwait and Kuwait Foundation for Advancement of Sciences. Since the discovery of oil in 1930, Kuwait was on the path of modernization, slowly but surely. In 1976, I believe it's a typo unless I'm mistaken as well, there was an Emiri decree to establish the Kuwait Foundation for Advancement of Sciences. And it is a special organization in that it is headed immediately or chaired immediately by the Emir of Kuwait, okay? So the Emir of Kuwait would sit at the board of the Kuwait Foundation. Nowadays, it is a little bit different because who is sitting is on behalf of the Emir of Kuwait, but it is the Prime Minister of Kuwait. So it shows you the closeness of interaction between our foundation and Kuwait as a whole. But we also have to remember that the Kuwait Foundation is a private entity. And because of that, we are very agile and very nimble, and we are able to move quickly. We pride ourselves in being very small footprint, but with a lot of effect, okay? So after that, of course, we have developed, and our development went through a little more of centers that really offshoot from the Kuwait Foundation for Advancement of Sciences, such as the Scientific Center, such as the Dasman Diabetes Institute, and we have a recently research center that we just launched as well. And one of the initiatives that we are going through is to digitize and to go from paper to paperless to electronic. And one of the things, one of the vehicles, important vehicles actually is Pure. Okay. So the KFAS Pure portal, it helps us to align ourselves with the strategy of KFAS, okay, the Kuwait Foundation for Advancement of Sciences. What are the pillars of our strategy in the Kuwait Foundation? The first pillar is actually research, okay? So this is our primary objective, is to advance sciences through funding of research activities. And this is my core activities actually in KFAS, which is to promote funding of research and promote researchers to come and apply for funding and things like that. Another important part of our strategic pillars is human ingenuity and finally visible innovation for a sustainable future. Of course, we are aware that the oil is a finite resource. We are aware of that. and we would like to go into a sustainable economy. And the best thing to do is to invest in the human capital. Okay. So it was not a straight road to implement Pure in KFAS, being a small foundation. As I said, small footprint, but with large impact. We have very few personnel that we can spare to have yet an additional role. Thank you, Ala, greatly, because she has so many roles, and in addition to those, we're putting Pure on her shoulders. We have, of course, our good friend, engineer Abdurrahman from the vendor Vertis in Kuwait, who is part of the work because they deal directly with Elsevier. Okay. But we persevered, and then once there were tangible results that came out of Pure, a lot of people chimed in, a lot of people interacted, and they said that they want to come on board from within our organization, and then later on by external organizations, importantly, like Kuwait University, which is the largest university, public university in Kuwait. And they reached to us and they asked for our support from KFAS. KFAS, they gave the fund to establish Pure at Kuwait University just for the phase of establishment, and we provided them for fund. We provided them for support through also our engineer Ala, okay? And actually, they are implementing, and they're taking steps and initiatives to move forward with their own database. So, and they're not only using it for research and to show research. I'm happy to tell you that they also are interested to use it for promotion purposes for faculty members as well. Okay. Strategies and execution, and how did Pure, how are we implementing Pure to go further? And the first one that we want to talk about is improving KFAS internal workflows. As I stated, it's a digitization tool. And how are we going to use it to improve our capacity, improve our efficiency? And those two are very important from my perspective. The second thing that we are going to talk about is customizing the portal to meet KFAS's requirements. And the third one that we're going to talk about is enhancing research beyond academia. Maybe I'll touch on one favorite topic of mine, which is AI. It's just some personal thing that I am interested in. I'm always reading about it. I want to learn more about it. And we recently had a big agreement also with Microsoft that they are we're going to partner with them as far as service providing for KFAS to cover a lot of things, including artificial intelligence through their Copilot. And we understand that their AI is from the enterprise version of it is secure, and hence we are confident with them in our data, and we would like to extend the enterprise, the Copilot enterprise abilities to cover Pure information as well. And this is something that we are currently working on, A, to improve efficiency, B, to be able to process more applications. Okay, with that, I would like to leave the floor for Ala to continue.
Thank you, Professor Abdulwahab. Coming up the stairs, I realized our three words: unite, innovate, and empower. If we're trying to discuss on how has KFAS driven impact through using Pure, our first point of uniting, we realized that every time we started a new project with Pure, somehow we triggered the other department that we're requesting information from to improve. Okay, so in the beginning, when we were collecting all this data regarding the projects and the users, when we went to our research directorate, we realized that all the project and the legacy data was actually in files and not organized. The research directorate has created a new project of an archiving project where they have spent a whole year collecting and organizing their data to supply to us. So you can see the ripple effect of improvement. We also realized when we were syncing our two systems together that our grant management system at KFAS had a lot of flaws. So when we asked for information, we weren't getting the quality and the accurate data that we needed. We're very happy because now at the Research Directorate, they have purchased a new grant management system. We tried to update our media portal. So when we went to our communications department at KFAS, they didn't have any organization of the photos or how the events are organized. They just launched their project of archiving all the photos of 70 years so that they can supply it to us easier. So as you see, through our Pure requests, we have been adding a lot more work on them, but it's been paying off. As a funding agency, it's very important. A lot of times, board management asks us for nominations for names. Who do you recommend from your researchers to send up? And every time we sent a list, we had to justify, why do you want this person to go on this workshop? Why do you want this researcher to be a part of a team? What we do now in our directorate is anytime we send up a list, we add their Pure link next to their name. And so that's just justifiable. The board or the management know that we have chosen that certain person because of, for example, they can go onto their portal and they can see the SDGs associated or why they're qualified for our selection. A very important point is that KFAS, as Professor Abdul Wahab explained, is not only, we've benefited a lot from our Pure portal, that we are now funding other institutes in Kuwait to get the Pure portal just to get the impact that we have received. A very interesting thing is that at KFAS, we have also been contacted by other industries, corporate industries in the oil and gas sector, which I don't think were a considered customer for Pure, but they also want a piece of the cake. So what happens is that everyone is coming on board and they want a part of it. A very important point, if we can think of innovation, is customizing. This is a very nice picture of our country, Kuwait. You can see the Kuwait Towers in the back. This is our magic school bus at KFAS. What KFAS did was that they customized this bus. They removed all the equipment and the chairs from inside, and they created a set of like small experiments for students, fun interactive science experiments. This bus goes around 5 days a week to public schools in Kuwait, and the team presents science facts and gets people and students on board. So just as we've customized our bus al-ulum, as we call it, the bus of science, we have really customized the Pure portal to meet our needs. It might look from the outside as a very template, rigid portal, but you can actually do whatever you want to it to a certain limit. One of the main important things that we have done is, in addition, anytime we get an order from management to add a certain document, we're not limited by our tabs. For example, we have white papers that we publish from KFAS. We did not want to add them under research outputs. We really wanted them to stand out. So what we realized was that the student thesis tab actually has a lot of similar metadata that we can combine. So just changing that headline, for example, and we uploaded our white paper documents for policy onto the student thesis was very helpful. We still have to say that the language barrier is a bit of an issue because when we tried to flip it to Arabic, it didn't work. One of the things that we really would like to point out with customization is that we're a funding agency. The issue we had is that we showcase our researchers who come from different institutes in Kuwait. These are people who have applied for grants at KFAS and have projects. With the research output, all their research output is being showcased onto our portal. And this is not, this doesn't really showcase the true value of KFAS. What we do is we actually, with the assistance of Engineer Abdurrahman, every 2 weeks or a month, we do a filtering process. We take out a report of all the new outputs that have been on the portal. We draw from Scopus and from Web of Science all the other KFAS-funded proposals. We match the two lists, and then we go to the back end, where we tag each research output as KFAS, non-KFAS, and we back-end the non-KFAS, which is a very hectic process, and hopefully, if we can somehow get to do it within the system, that will be very beneficial. To enhance research beyond academia actually touches on the empowering point. I think that the word I've heard the most the past 2 days is impact, impact, impact. We really do want to draw impact, but we want to take it even a step further. It's just beyond reporting and data and putting out graphs and drafting strategy. I'm very proud to say that this is the first time that KFAS has actually funded a project by a very special, one of our researchers. Her name is Dr. Sara Al-Kandiri. She wanted to create a system that measures research impact. So the really nice thing here is that when she went back to her consultant at Cambridge University, he told her, Dr. Sara, why are you starting from scratch? Just build it on Pure. When she approached us, I told her this is not possible, but after attending the conference today, we can see from our colleagues at the University of Thailand how it is actually possible to utilize a Pure outside its actual scope. And this is really important because it allows us to optimize the allocation of research funds that we are trying to work on. This is also another image. Along life, we learn a lot of lessons. This is a desalination plant. In Kuwait, water scarcity is an issue, and so we get most of our fresh water from desalination. And very creative researchers that we funded at KFAS came up with the idea of using all that energy to create a cooling system. And why do I say this now? Because when we presented it for the Prime Minister and they asked for more details, we were like, yes, you can go back to our Pure portal if you would like more information on this project. And so it's a really nice way to showcase. We've had a lot of challenges, a lot of solutions. I agree, we should take it a step by step, but there's also another very important point. All of you are putting in a lot of work, extremely long hours just to maybe put in one entry. I think it's really time to celebrate the small wins. Any small adjustment you do, give yourself a pat on the back. Whether you're wearing a green or an orange lanyard, we're all in this together. We have really benefited from this. Beyond this just being a showcase, it's a symbol of possibility. Departments that never communicated within KFAS are now communicating. We are also, with Professor Abdul Wahab and the rest of the directorate, we have also gone to our subsidiary research units outside KFAS and worked together. So this is really helpful. We are open to any discussions. This is a picture of our team, extremely hardworking, and thank you very much.